Hey, what's up everybody? It's Ango bringing you guys another news video here on Tony Pizza Guy's channel. So if you guys didn't watch his update video, make sure you guys check it out. I'll make sure the link is in the description, but it's definitely a very important video for you guys to check out. It kind of gives you guys an update as to why I make these videos on his channel. Now, before we actually start off with the gameplay today, I just wanted you guys to take a closer look at the thumbnail I designed, because we are going to talk about Kalisto becoming a single star and how WWE is currently trying to test out a new gimmick for him in which he will be unmasked and be a gay hairstylist. So I think this is actually a very interesting gimmick. I had some fun designing the thumbnail. If you guys really take a closer look at it, I think you guys will kind of understand why. But let's seriously talk about Kalisto. Now, before I actually do that, let me just remind you guys, this gameplay is on Xbox One Next Generation gaming. So we have Kalisto as a created wrestler against Fandango in a TLC match. So just a little explanation right there. But now let's actually break into the news for today's video. So Kalisto, former tag team champion, former NXT tag team champion, did a pretty good job with Sin Cara. And, you know, for those who don't know, Kalisto was also known as Samurai del Sol in the independent scene, and he's always been a very big star when it came to doing high-flying moves, and that is why this gimmick is actually perfect, okay? So I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this. A lot of people might not understand why I support the gimmick change, but you guys have to understand, in a world where WWE is PG and there hasn't been anything too crazy for, you know, for a single star, you gotta think, right? Bray Wyatt has this very fearful character. Fandango is a dancer. We have, you know, R-Truth, who is a rapper and a dancer, and we have, you know, the Miz and Mizdow playing off this Hollywood character. We don't really have anything that is a little bit flamboyant. You know, maybe you could argue Adam Rose and Fandango, but realistically, we haven't had anything like this. So in WWE, having a gay hairstylist, it would be pretty interesting. Now, the idea with Kalisto would be to repackage him, and that is currently why he lost the tag titles with Sin Cara in NXT. But the idea is to repackage him and build him as basically the new face of, you know, the Latin America superstar, right? Like, he's got to be the top guy. Rey Mysterio is no longer there. Rey Mysterio might be getting released at some point soon, and they can do something pretty big with this. Now, having a guy like Kalisto, right, being the gay hairstylist, there is a lot of potential in terms of storylines. And the reason why I say that is not so much the gimmick itself, but the people that he could work with in terms of programs. And I feel like they can do a little bit of I feel like they can do a lot of big things with a guy like Kalisto in this gimmick if he were to challenge other wrestlers in the mid-card. Because obviously he has to make a big impact, and nothing would be funnier than having, you know, a guy like Kalisto go against Bad News Barrett, the guy who brings bad news and the guy who does hairstyles. Like, there's a lot of things. Maybe I envision it differently than you guys, but I feel like they can do so much, you know, with just a singles feud, right? Or even a guy like Adam Rose, for example, or even, you know, Fandango. It could give a whole bunch of guys the chance to get in a story that, you know, it's not going to be on top of the card, but it's not going to be on the bottom of the card, and that's always going to be important. Now, when I first heard of this actual rumor, I was totally against it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I definitely did not think this is something that could work. But then I really decided to, you know, just think about it a little bit longer, and I want to break it down to you guys in terms of why this character should work. So, obviously, Sin Cara is your masked wrestler. He does pretty well with merchandise sales. Bringing another masked wrestler like Kalisto could be a little bit of an issue, because at the same time too, you can't flood your roster with a whole bunch of masked luchadors, right? You had Rey Mysterio, you have Sin Cara. Kalisto is great, and I feel like Kalisto with a mask can do very well, but I don't feel like WWE right now has that need for a masked wrestler. I feel like WWE needs that one guy who can really take over the Mexican market. They need the luchador fans to come back. They need the Mexican fans to resurface. And when they lost Alberto Del Rio, that was a very big hit for the WWE. So, you know, Kalisto can do multiple things with this character. But how funny would it be if Kalisto got involved with, you know, a hair versus hair match, right? You know, maybe WWE were to have a singles feud between two people, and Kalisto was the guy who had to cut the hair. Like, there is so many things that WWE can do, right? You know, and I feel like it's a little bit harder to explain because the character is just, right now we don't know too much about it, but the idea has always been to elevate him to the main roster. And WWE might do that sooner, and sooner but later, eventually they're going to do it. And if you really look at it, yeah, it would be a comedy character, but WWE can have a comedy character that can succeed, and we've seen that before in WWE's past. It's not something new to see, comedians really get to the top of the card. Now, granted, they may not be taken seriously like Roman Reigns or John Cena, but a guy like Kalisto getting involved with a feud with Daniel Bryan, like that would be perfect. Daniel Bryan's been growing out his hair. Daniel Bryan and Kalisto would have an incredible match. Yeah, Kalisto, it might be something different that we're seeing from him, but if WWE won't bring him up to the main roster with the mask and with the style that he's been doing with NXT, and this goes long before the Lucha Dragons, but also when he was with Ricardo Rodriguez in their little tag team. I forgot his own name, but whatever. When they did that little tag team, this is something way different than that, and having him, I think it would be just really cool to have like a feud with a guy like Daniel Bryan, or a guy like Roman Reigns. I know you guys don't think it would be like the most entertaining gimmick, but with the right writing process and the right creative, how funny would it be if Roman Reigns had his hair on the line against a guy like Kalisto? I feel like it would be kind of funny, you know what I mean? Like just having that kind of character that, this guy's small, he's a very high flyer, but he might, it depends on the characters that he versus, but if there's a guy that's going to go through a gimmick change and cut their hair and, edge it up a little bit, Kalisto could be the guy that could win in a hair versus hair match. Talk about how he would get over with the crowd if he were to beat Daniel Bryan. He would become a very big heel at that point. So you could play off the character as a babyface or a heel, but regardless, it would be very entertaining. And that's what I love about the character idea. Granted, WWE probably doesn't think the way I think creatively, and that's obviously for a reason, because they get paid to book their shows and I don't get paid for it. But think about the possibility. The potential is there. Now, I'm not saying it's going to succeed. I'm not going to say it's going to fail, because we haven't seen anything yet, and we don't know if, Kalisto could actually play this gimmick the right way. But, like I said, hair versus hair match with Daniel Bryan. That's the best way to make this guy a heel that goes over. If you want him to be a babyface, you get him involved with matches like, Adam Rose or Wade Barrett. Like, I think that would be a very huge thing. He could just even get involved with like smaller he doesn't even have to be, the guy that has to be in a hair versus hair match. But like, there could be a hair versus hair match, for example, and Kalisto could just automatically debut, as he's going to cut someone's hair, or as he's about to. Let's just say, theoretically, Wade Barrett has a hair versus hair match with, I don't know, Tyson Kidd. That's just a random equation, right? Wade Barrett loses, Kalisto comes out, he cuts his hair, or he's about to cut his hair, and Wade Barrett attacks him, And then we start to see more about this gay hairstylist. Like, we haven't had a gay character in a very long time, and I don't even know, like, how accurate that is. I don't know if anybody in WWE, like, I think back to the Billy Gunn and Chuck Palumbo thing, but they were a tag team, and I don't know if they can really replicate that. But who knows? Who really knows? This is got a lot of potential. WWE has a lot of potential with the creative. Do I personally prefer Kalisto to remain as Kalisto? Absolutely. I feel like when you have a guy that's an awesome high flyer, and he's done a great job making other guys look good in the ring, but he also comes out on top and does a very good job. I feel like he deserves to be the way he is, but I feel like WWE can utilize some funny character. A gay character can definitely, help out. And on top of that, right, you guys got to understand too why WWE might try to pursue a gay character. But ever since Darren Young has come out, Darren Young hasn't been in the ring, but when he came out on TMZ, Darren Young has brought a lot of positive press to WWE. So having a character like Kalisto possibly play a gay hairstylist, like, there's also some press that they can get involved with the, the LGBT. I think that's what the organization is. But, the whole campaigns that WWE gets involved with, the no hate and stuff, there's potential. There is a lot of potential with it. There's a lot that WWE can do with Kalisto, and I'm anxious to see what happens. Now, maybe you guys might not like it. You guys will probably not agree with me in the comment section below. But if he does, in fact, remain as Kalisto, or he changes his gimmick. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.